Time now for the markets with Leighton, and the prices that catfish farmers receive continue to rise, you say.
That's right. The monthly snapshot funded by the Catfish Institute is coming up. Also ahead in this segment this week, the big corn crop is good for the feeder cattle market. An 81 to 82 cent price floor may hold for Deese cotton, while soybeans face an inverted market as we head to the end of the month. Rising prices continue to be the main feature of catfish processing reports. The numbers you're about to see reflect activity in the United States during September. Last month, the average price paid to U.S. producers was $1.06 per pound. That is 26 cents per pound more than was paid in September 2012. Farm sales totaled over 29 million pounds round weight, an increase of 20% from 1 year ago. Processor sales were over 14 million pounds. That's an increase of 9% from September 2012. We shift from aquaculture to beef now in our market review. Extension Ag economists at Mississippi State are offering a positive outlook for the cattle sector at this point in the year. On Tuesday this week, Extension Ag economist Brian Williams discussed the basis for this optimism. Well, Brian, we're rapidly approaching the end of October. Let's kind of review where we are with the fat cattle market and the feeder cattle markets.
We are, and this is normally a time of year where the spring-born calves are flooding the market, and typically it brings prices down at this point of the year, but it seems like this year we're not seeing that, and the prices are holding steady.
Is there really a reason why? What can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. The market's got a real positive outlook with the numbers being down, and then when we look at the corn crop, we're expecting a record corn crop, which is good news for the feeders. Wheat planting is going well. That's good news for our stockers. So just across the board, good news for the cattle industry.
Well, I know boxed beef values kind of bounced a little bit higher on Monday of this week. If that trend holds, what will that mean for the market?
They did. They went up by $2 on Monday. I think what we're seeing is the beef demand is still strong despite these high prices. There's some concerns in the market right now that we may be hitting a ceiling in terms of the prices, where consumers might be switching to cheaper alternatives like chicken, but for now we're doing well.
So that buyer support, that's still kind of an unanswered question. We need to go a little bit further along here, maybe into November or so, to really answer that. All right, we have had delay. The cattle on feed report from USDA is coming out, but will be a little bit delayed, I think, till October 31. Right. How has that impacted the livestock, particularly the cattle markets? Has it had any impact?
Well, it has. It hasn't been a huge impact, but I think it's really reduced the volatility in the markets because that information hasn't been flowing in, and so the traders are just dealing with the information they have. But now we're starting to see more information trickle in the USDA's sending out up-to-date daily reports.
So we are beginning to get that information back in and plugged into the markets, and also delayed but coming out will be a cold storage report. Right?
Yeah, it'll be coming out on the 31st as well.
From beef to dairy for our last trivia quiz of the month of October. Let's take a look at it now. How many gallons of ice cream were produced in the United States in the month of August? Here are your possible choices for an answer. 3.5 million gallons, 6 million gallons, 37 million gallons, or 72 million gallons. I'll tell you the answer at the end of this segment. We begin the row crop portion of the markets with Dr. O.A. Cleveland's latest outlook for cotton. Although some analysts warn that the December contract will dip to near 78 cents, Cleveland is still seeing solid support at the 81 to 82 cent price floor. The MSU professor emeritus also believes that both the high and the low in the Deese contract are in place, and most probably, he says he thinks, for the March 2014 contract as well. Cleveland says the recent decision by the Chinese to open new import quotas is lending support to the fiber market. Well, trading in new crop soybeans is more challenging these days due to the current inverted market situation. Analyst Darren Newsom says that means the commercial side of the bean market still doesn't know where it's going to get the supply it needs to meet demand.
You look at, again, at the inverted market, the Nov to Jan, Jan to March, March to May, May, July. And if you look at that Nov Jan, you say, okay, you got to sell into this. You got to unload everything and sell into this. but you got to take the whole thing into account. I mean, we're talking all the way out through the July contract, after the South American crop will probably already be in. And if it's still inverted, what it's saying is there's still a great deal of concern over lack of supplies, lack of global supplies. So I think you feed the market a little bit at a time. You don't necessarily get into a hurry selling this thing. You set a target, you sell a few here, sell a few there. Keep doing it as the market wants to go higher. Keep feeding this inverted market. You want to hold some back because we have not completely dealt with the tight situation coming out of 12-13, and it doesn't look like it's going to improve that much, at least through the first half of the 13-14 marketing year.
Northeast Mississippi is getting a new sawmill. The Daily Journal reports American Land and Timber is expanding its operation located near Baldwin. This expansion includes not only a new sawmill, but the construction of a 20,000 square foot facility as well. The company produces lumber for export to overseas markets. They say this expansion will add 38 new jobs to the company payroll. Well, before our new feature story, let's check the trivia answer for this week. The correct choice is D, and that is a decrease of almost 5% from 1 year ago.